I'm gonna tell you the craziest story about how we recently got our clients to the finish line. You're not gonna wanna miss this. If you're looking for real estate content about the greater Houston area or anywhere across the US, please like and subscribe. New videos come out every Friday. We absolutely love to educate our clients and get them to the finish line. So let's talk about it. So most recently, we had some clients, they were referred to us by another agent at EXP Realty, which was awesome. We love getting partner referrals like that. And I get on the phone to talk to the lender like we normally do and say, hey, how's this look? If I go write an offer, what's this gonna be? Are we gonna get to the finish line in a decent amount of time? You know, just kind of normal questions that I ask. And the lender, he says, yeah, everything's fine, looks great. And I talk to him and I say, hey, I would like to know why they're writing offers at 500 when their pre-approvals for 423. And he says, well, Brandon, you can actually write more. It's an FHA loan, but they have the cash to bring different to closing. I said, this is a first for me. So for those of you who don't know, an FHA loan has a limit. You can only spend a certain amount of money with the FHA loan. It's like $423,000 and change. So I go, okay, well, that's kind of odd, but whatever, they have the difference, not a big deal. So we end up looking at homes, we write an offer, and I call this listing agent, I say, hey, I have kind of a weird situation. This is a first for me. Never seen it happen. They're FHA, but they're writing an offer at, I don't know, something like $25,000 over the FHA limit. They're gonna make up the difference. She said, okay. And so we end up winning the offer and we go under contract. We don't really hear from the loan officer for a while. And then about 2 weeks before the appraisal is supposed to be back in, or not 2 weeks, but like about a week and a half, we get a phone call, hey, we got a different lender. Now, this is a bad thing all the way around when you switch lenders halfway through. The seller is only obligated to close on the closing date. So if the lender doesn't meet the closing date, the seller can actually back out. So red flags come up and I say, hey guys, you know, and these clients are awesome. We broke bread with them, we had Chick-fil-A with them, so we're really not anywhere in the realm of, hey, these clients are shady. It's these clients are great, and something else is going on that we need to uncover. Talk to the clients, talk to the new lender. New lender says, hey, this has been transferred to me. They're foreign nationals, they're from Canada, they have a work visa here, so I'm gonna handle this file moving forward. That was really simple to me, like, hey, foreign nationals, whatever. Then we get to the FHA part. So the FHA has specific requirements. It's one of the stricter loans when it comes to certain things. If you have money in the bank and you don't know where it came from, the FHA doesn't like that. If you have certain just stipulations, the FHA is going to bring it up and want to know where everything is, cross their T's, dot their I's, so we don't repeat 2008. Lending requirements have gotten so much stricter since 2008, which is in a whole nother video if you want to watch. It's why we're not crashing like 2008. In regards to the FHA and them being foreign nationals, we ran into a problem. The FHA requires that if you're in your visa renewal year, that you get a full renewal, proof of renewal, before your loan can be accepted. Now, my client's work visa was being renewed by her employer. It was supposed to be done pretty soon, but that was about 8 weeks ago that the client had actually applied for renewal. So the FHA completely denied the loan. This was a problem. We're about a week out, 2 weeks out from closing, and the loan got basically denied. I call my lender, who is daveyourmortgageguy.com, and I tell him, hey, this is what's going on. I need you to help me brainstorm this. Now, it is not his job to solve another lender's problems. I want to be very clear about that. But what Dave and I did was brainstorm how to get to the finish line. How do we get this thing closed? He said, well, first of all, he said, I'm not going to tell you to blow it up and bring it over to me, but that is an option. And that's sometimes what I've done is our team has brought a deal to Dave halfway through. Dave's gotten to close in a week and a half, and we were good. But what we brainstormed was that we needed to switch to conventional. Conventional limits and requirements are a lot smoother. There's not as much needed. I'm not a mortgage expert, but what I can tell you is after kind of seeing a lot of crazy corner cases, this was one of those times where going to conventional was the obvious route. We brainstormed, hey, let's go to conventional. It'll cut out a lot of requirements. There was a credit line, so the cash that we were bringing to closing wasn't actually cash that we were bringing to closing. It was a credit line. And so what ended up happening was we switched it to conventional, and the FHA issue of foreign national was no longer a problem. What we ended up doing is going to the appraiser, and this is where we brainstormed because the lender was kind of struggling. Hey, we're gonna have to order a new appraisal. I'm like, why would you order a new appraisal? Just call the appraisal management company, say, hey, we're switching to conventional. Can you switch this to conventional? Normally there's a fee involved, $300 to $600. It's actually almost the price of a new appraisal, but it ended up happening. We ended up switching this whole file to conventional, getting the appraisal management company to switch it to conventional. And then we were like, okay, everything's good. Well, this is actually where the problems started. There was a lot of conditions that weren't brought up in underwriting the first time they went into underwriting. And so this, mind you, this is a new lender, right? This got transferred from their first lender. Having these issues come up. Now, mind you, most of them are conditions to clear, like, hey, you need a verification of employment from your employer. You need certain things to come up. But our time frame was so short because the seller was already a little peeved that we had to extend closing twice. So we actually ended up extending closing 4 separate times. Now, that was at no fault to the buyers. That was at no fault to the listing agent or ourselves, but we had to extend due to multiple conditions coming up through underwriting that just weren't really taken care of in the fastest amount of time. Part of it was verification of employment took way too long, which something I always talk to our lenders about. Hey, you need to get verification of employment sooner rather than later. And with this specific case, because we have a foreign national and there's kind of some crazy things going on, it was like, okay, we need to get this done faster. So it took us a couple of weeks to get everything smoothened out. And there was a point where the sellers were buying their next house and the sellers of that house said, hey, if you don't close by this time, we're not selling to you. We have a backup offer. And even though the market has smoothened out, it has corrected, it has changed, they wanted to go back on the market. So the sellers came back to us and said, hey, look, like, we're not trying to be rude here, but you need to close on time. So here I am on the phone with our clients, trying to get everything organized. Where we came in is we're coming in and talking to different people, making sure that all of the conditions are being met. Hey, the lender has reached out and said, we need XYZ. We need to make sure that we get these things to them as soon as possible. So we were really coordinating a lot of craziness through that time. So finally get all of our conditions cleared. We get a clear to close at like 7 o'clock at night. The day before, we're supposed to close for the extension of the 4th time. That morning, docs go out to title. This title company, shout out to the title company we worked with because they absolutely killed it. They got docs prepared, balanced the CD within an hour. Clients ended up going to closing. Now here's the crazy thing. Clients don't have driver's license, right? So we were supposed to go pick them up. We were at another appointment, walk through for a client. And we were in Conroe, so we couldn't actually make it all the way down. Pick them up, take them to closing. So they Ubered to closing, closed on their house. They're actually going to be moving in this week. They gave the sellers a lease back, everything smoothened out, but it's just incredible that there were so many moving pieces. The FHA to conventional swap, the foreign national problems, verification of employment. We had a line of credit that we had to deal with from Canada. I mean, just like kind of craziness, right? So I wanted to share that with you. This story, I love these clients to death. We're gonna go see them this week. We will eat lots of Chick-fil-A with them in the future. They have become family to us because we have cried with them, we have prayed with them, we have loved on them. So I share that story with you to tell you that if anybody's gonna get it done, it's gonna be us. We're gonna put our heads together for you. We're going to figure it out. We're gonna mastermind with as many people as possible to get a solution, get you to the closing table. No worries, no stress, even though there was on our part. We always kept our clients level-headed and said, hey, we're gonna get to closing. God's got a plan in this. So we're definitely excited for them. They get to enjoy a nice pool, gorgeous house, heart of Katy. If you are looking for a home and you need someone to fight for you, that's us. If you're looking for a home and you think it's gonna be pretty straightforward still, that's us. If you're looking to sell your home and have someone fight for you to the finish line, that's us. Feel free to give us a call. Contact information is below. We'd love to serve you in the greater Houston area. Selling with the Snyder Group is at your service.